Security Agency SASSA Thokozani Magwaza has resigned. Minister of Social Development Bathabile Dlamini says Magwaza resigned after a consultative process led by the head of legal services, Advocate Nkosinathi Dladla. Magwaza has been leading negotiations with the South African Post Office for it to help SASSA distribute social grants. In May, the Constitutional Court ordered SASSA to find a replacement for cash paymaster services to distribute the grants by April next year. The Parliament's Watchdog Committee on Public Accounts SCOPA today condemned death threats allegedly made against Magwaza. SCOPA Chairperson Themba Godi joins us now on the line. Mr. Godi, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Now, you came out to condemn death threats made against the former SASSA CEO Thokozani Magwaza and urged him to stay on. You must be disappointed with the latest developments at SASSA?
Well, we are indeed disappointed because we wouldn't want a public servant to leave office because there are threats against him. And secondly, because SASSA is in the process of negotiating a new contract with the post office. And the fact that he only assumed this position in November last year. So we want to see stability in the leadership of public institutions, and who would want to see processes taken to their logical conclusion and not people jumping ship midstream.
Now, speaking of people jumping ship, do you think he was pushed out, or as stated in the statement, he just resigned because that's what he felt like doing?
Well, no. I think my understanding is that, you don't have a CEO getting death threats and the next thing he just leaves. Surely something must be wrong in terms of that logic. And I'm saying he is a man who has hardly spent 10 months in office living. It cannot be, and I think that the statement that has been issued, as you can see, it's a test statement that does not say anything, and does not say anything about the death threat that he has faced. We do know that his relationship with the minister, when you look at the issue of CPS, they were not incongruent. So you would want to believe that those tensions may have played their role in seeing him out of SASSA.
Just finally, Mr. Godi, there's also an impending inquiry into the SASSA debacle. Do you think the resignation of Magwaza will impact this process?
No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, I don't even think that there should be a link whatsoever. Whatever Mr. Magwaza had submitted in court stands, and if he has to talk to it, he will still do so, since he had made that submission himself. So I think for us, that is a separate process. But what is important for Parliament is that the departure of Mr. Magwaza should not impact on the important work of fulfilling the directives of the Constitutional Court, vis-a-vis the need to have a company in place by the end of April next year that is going to take over from the CPS, because we don't want the CPS any day longer than what has already been determined by the Constitutional Court.
Mr. Godi, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. That was the Chairman of Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts, Mr. Themba Godi. Now, the ANC top 6 officials will